Officially, hello Cobus, my Mikey, my friend, my
Hello,
brother,
Dion.
my man, love. What can I say? How you doing?
I love it, my man love. Yeah, first and before I just want to say thank you for everyone that's joining. I met someone recently in Ireland, and I see she's joined as well, Mary. So I
Hello.
just wanted to
Yeah.
say thank you for your
Hi.
time for being
Yeah.
here. And yeah, for the rest of you, thank you for being here and for the surprise. And I'm looking forward. Dion, you are one amazing person to think we knew it about each other for so long, and then the God, the universe guided it in such a way that we could meet. And yeah, I'm grateful to be a friend of yours.
What is interesting is we were friends, guys, and I'm saying this for a reason, and hopefully it inspires some of you guys. Cobus and I were friends for a long time before we actually met each other. We live in a modern era, and we were Facebook friends, and eventually became WhatsApp friends. Uh, it's almost like two weird guys stalking each other for a couple of years and having weird conversations, and then we finally started talking, and we met each other, and it was really, really, really amazing. So I want to ask, and I think everybody here wants to know, what is it about you that's I want to use the term that's made you famous. Now, if one looks at you on the obvious, we could say it's the hairstyle, which
Yeah,
is.
look like a punk, eh?
Let me see the back. It's oh my, that is so gay. No, it's not. It actually represents something very specifically, guys. If you look at his brand, you can see his name on the screen. It's written Cobus Visser, and there's a V next to it. And the V is actually not for Visser. Do you want to maybe tell them what your brand representation is and what's the meaning behind it, if you don't mind?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Dion. So I used to be branded as Superman when I started in this industry, and the reason for that is I became one of a few people in South Africa that does firewalking. So for those who don't know what firewalking is when you walk on 500 to 600 degrees Celsius of fire
Hold
without
on,
getting
hold on,
burned.
hold on, hold on. Say it slower so they hear the temperature.
500 to 600 degrees Celsius of fire. Just to put that in perspective, aluminium melts at 250. And according to the medical books, 150 is third degree burns. So basically, that's a superpower. And me growing up, I always wanted to be like Superman. However, I didn't fit into my Superman suit anymore, Dion. And I looked in the mirror. It's not a good sight. Please don't imagine it. Uh,
Yeah, okay, hold on. Let me get that image out of my head first. I
and
thought you dropped the Superman brand because you aged and you didn't look like Ken anymore, so you decided let's go for another brand.
Of course, yes. That was part of the story.
Okay.
But I think the look, I didn't have the six pack anymore.
Ah,
And I knew something had to change. And luckily, and I think this is why, we talk about coaches tonight, and coaches are on the call as well, is that why coaching is so important is because I had a coach that said, okay, then let's rebrand yourself, Cobus. Let's create a new story. Who are you? What do you stand for? Where do you come from? Because we're not just only made up by DNA and cells, but also our history, everything that makes us up, our beliefs, etc. And so the journey started going on first doing a DNA test to see where I come from. And so part of that story is my DNA test shows North Germany and Norway. And I realized that sort of that side. And at the same time, the show The Vikings was on TV, and I really connected with it. And I went and looked.
was a cool show. I just want to mention that if you guys haven't seen
Yeah.
it, it's a bit violent, but it's
For
kind of
those
cool.
who don't know Truecaller, when people phone me or when I phone them, it says Ragnar Lovebrook. So people's like, I think the real Ragnar is phoning them. And interesting, I was at a coffee shop the other day, and for some reason, all of the waiters thought I played in the TV show The Vikings. They all came to take photos with me. They're like, "Oh, you the Viking?" I said, "Yes, I'm the Viking."
Oh, that's hysterical.
And that's the power. And I think when I went on this journey of Viking, it was also the values and the virtues behind it. They were fearless in battle. They weren't scared to die. They were willing to be courageous and take courage. They were fighting always for their freedom, and they believed in a higher power. So they walked by faith. They built a big legacy that still stands today. I think being in Ireland a while ago, and I know Mary is on the phone as well from Ireland, is that their whole history has also been built up from the Vikings. And I think, on this journey, discovering what Vikings stood for and the 9 virtues, and then men and women were equal. Women just had the same power as men, especially in today's age where, you get a lot of feminists and you get a lot of thing about, women empowerment. And I believe that, like, it's not only the women that need to be empowered, the men as well. It's 2 equals coming together, and it just fits so well. And taking all of that into perspective, I realized, okay, let me start putting it out there. So I first tested it with a few friends and clients, and because I was challenged to do research. You just don't change the brand. You think about, what does your customer do? They connect with it. And so when I started sharing it, my customers loved it. And I then rebranded as the Viking. Now, the one difference between Viking and Superman was alone. Superman had a weakness. Superman had different personalities. Superman is a comic. It's childish. It is, people won't pay so much for a comic compared to a premium brand, for example, premium magazine. However, the Viking side of the story is that it represents tribe, community, family. We are strong as each other. So suddenly there's more than one person. You're not the only one that's in charge. You are working together as a team and a tribe. And that all just stood out for me. And it's like, wow, that's a community. That's family. That's more than a family. And then I started changing the brand. And the nice thing about branding, John, and I mean, that people need to know about, is that people remember you, that your brand is for. So I would walk down the street. I was in Mossel Bay, for example, December. And there was 3 occasions where people came up to me and said, "Are you the Viking?" Because they've seen me on social media, etc. And I had to say yes. And when I was in Ireland, people remember me still till today. They call out to me the Viking, And I think that's the nice thing, that I knew that's when my brand started working. And I mean, that was just a whole transformation.
Well, hold on. It's not just a brand. I don't know if you guys are noticing it. It's like the whole look. The beard has been grown for it, the hair. When you were talking and you mentioned Ragnar Lothbrok, I was sitting here going, this guy looks a lot. I can understand how people can. So you look the role. I think that I don't know if I will make a great Viking. I won't. I can't carry that. Well, firstly, I can't grow a beard like yours, and I'm not sure I'll carry that look. You do it so much better. So it suits you. It's like it's a natural thing. Do you think your DNA, your heritage, had some influence in you? I almost want to say accepting the brand so much easier. And I'm saying that for a reason, because a lot of coaches want to brand, they want to put a persona in the market. How you touched on, you did some research, but what advice would you give to the other coaches here? How do you make that decision?
I think it's what's the persona you want to create? What is it you want to stand for? And because the thing is, you're going to be challenged on your beliefs and your value systems. So the first thing that I connected with was values, because values is in everything that when I coach and I train, I always come back down to values. And looking at the values of the Vikings, that was important for me, and that's why my color is also green and black. Black. If you think about premium bank cards, black seems more expensive. The
Yeah.
metallic green, it's a metallic color that usually being, any metallic colors shows premium. And so some of the values are heart, and green is the chakra color for heart, for example. So it just connected. And then my story. So I realized my brand started telling a story. And I mean, that's what it is. Your brand tells a story that people connect with. And so it's heart, courage, perseverance, discipline. It's everything that I teach. Taking action, being industriousness, speaking the truth, living in fidelity. And I think, looking at all of that, is that these values, you're going to be tested on. So I realized when I started rebranding that I started being tested against my values. Do I stand for them? And I think that's the other thing is your brand becomes so strong that when you're not there, it speaks for you. And so I did it, and I did research, and I'm a person of symbols and signs. So I went on my knees and I was like, I need some symbols and signs. is this an acceptance? So first, a pigeon appeared, and a pigeon flew down, a wild pigeon flew down and sat on my head. That's the first time. And I'm like, okay, now
Probably
let it
thought that
happen.
hair was a space to make a nest. I don't know. I'm just.
I think so too. Until he started flying into my house, to my office, and sat next to me. And when I started Googled what pigeon means, it means transformation. It means the being blessed into your new occupation. So it was just a confirmation in that what I was doing.
Okay.
And I think that's the thing, is sometimes it's for me, because of my faith and everything, I love to ask for symbols and signs. And that was one of the symbols and signs that came. And by sharing that with people, they confirmed, it's like, oh, that's transformation. That's actually what you've been going through. And the moment I accepted, so that pigeon for about 3 months visited me every single day. And when I accepted my brand and says, okay, I'm now at peace, I've never saw the pigeon again.
Wow. Okay. Well, you're a Viking. They used to eat pigeons. I don't know. You know me, I always bring some. I have to bring in humor, right? So, I've got another question for you. So, you decided on let's call it a brand, and the brand manifests. Almost want to say physically. You adapted your look. You looked at your own values. You brought in your values and said, "This is going to be my brand." You obviously went to a designer. Someone must have sat down with you and came up with a couple of ideas and everything else. What's been the response or I want to say the benefit as a coach for having kind of a unique brand? Because that's one thing that I often talk about. I tell you, got to stand out. You got to be the purple cow. You know, there can be 1,000 cows. If there's one cow that's purple, everybody's going to remember the purple one. Your brand, when I would scroll on Facebook or whatever, if you got an ad or something there, it does pop out. It is noticeable. Have you seen a payoff? Have you seen positive results because of it?
Yeah, definitely. I think being reached out, just to example, got the opportunity to go speak in Ireland, and they just booked me because of my Viking persona. They said they loved it. They need to be me to be a speaker there. Through that whole process, a top speakers bureau called A Speakers in Denmark, where the Vikings are from, reached out to me and says they would like to represent me. Just an example. I did work for Fidelity, ADT in South Africa. And the sales director booked me because of what he loves the Vikings, and he connected with it. And then when he looked at what I was doing, he said I was the right guy for it. So automatically it attracted the right people towards me that I want to do business with. And I think that's what a brand should be doing. It should push away the people that you don't want to do business with, and it needs to attract the people that wants to do business with you. When they look at the brand, the first thing people usually say to me when they want to do business with me is like, look, Cobus, I know you're not cheap. You're actually expensive and premium. Can we work out something? So their first perception of me already is that I'm an expensive brand. And that's what you want to do, especially if you want to charge premium pricing. Where with the comic books, the moment I would start charging more, they would laugh at me. It's like, no, come on, you're Superman, However, with the change of brand and the look and everything, the look and feel is more, I just dress in black most of the time. And the black is more of a professional corporate color. And suddenly that has increased my my fees.
Fascinating. So just for everyone in the group, you can't steal his brand. If you like his brand, Viking, you can't take it. He's already taken it. But for the ladies, Shield Maiden is still available. That's what they call them, right? Shield Maidens.
Shield Maidens, yeah. Oh, Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. Oh, that's not a bad one. Yeah. So there you go. Anybody want to grab it now? Anybody? Going? Lucia, you grabbing it? Sorry. Shield Maiden. All right. I want to change a little bit to something else that you touched on it earlier. It's the firewalk. We're not here to sell fireworks or anything, guys. That's not the idea he's here, but I do want him to talk about the firewalk. So for those that don't know, I've done a firewalk with him. I did 3 walks, and I think that night, it was 800 degrees, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was where we even heated it up for that second walk that you did.
Yeah, I think the third one was 800. I did 3 that night. But to me, it was a phenomenal. So I'm just briefly going to tell you guys something, and then he can maybe unwrap it. So one of the things he said was they don't use the word burn or blister or anything like that. They say this, the fire kisses you. And I did the first walk, and to be quite honest, the fire kissed me. And I went, hey, this ain't going to be nice. This is going to be a tough night. And one of the things that he said was when you do the second walk, give the kiss back to the fire. And quite honestly, I'm dead serious, Cobus. Please forgive me for this. The moment you said that, I went, yeah, no, this guy's this is like pink and fluffy nonsense. What is this? Give the kiss back to the fire. And I did the second walk, and I decided, well, let's go for it. Let's submit, let's do this, and gave the kiss back, and did the third walk. And I expected to have a painful night and not be able to put on shoes the next day. I remember the next morning I woke up, there was nothing, nada, zot. It was mind blowing. That's the only thing I can say. It was mind blowing. The brain cannot comprehend what you actually do when you do it. But I would love your version of it. Please inspire this group to come and do a firewalk. Cobus?
It's transformational and it's life-changing. People always ask, why should we walk on fire? At the end of the day, it's like a metaphor. And I like to tell people, if you go through the process, you will find your reason why, because it's about connecting it to a certain thing that you need to do, either to overcome fear, either to choices that you need to make. Because usually with the fire walk, the first walk step is the hardest, right? To take that action. It's the same when starting a business, reaching out to someone is that first step. So what is it going through your mind to be able to make it? And then to realize in life that you always have to be focused, because the moment you break focus and you lose focus, that the fire is going to teach you. Like in life, it's going to teach you lessons. So, it teaches you to keep focus and to focus on where you're going, your future, and to know that every step counts. So all that you have to do is keep moving forward. The fire was very transformational in my life, because I say you do everything with intention. So usually when I do a fire walk, I do it with the intent of healing. Just for those who are on the group call, I was born as hemophiliac, means I'm a bleeder, and over the years my joints have disintegrated. I don't have normal elbows and ankles anymore, and I was at one point in a wheelchair and in crutches. And the firewalk was sort of a lesson learning that the body can heal itself. And so every time I do that, and for those who are on the call that don't know, but I'm not in crutches or in a wheelchair anymore. I'm getting stronger, even though according to the doctors my joints are not as worse off than what it was a few years ago. I'm not supposed to be able to walk, and I'm still walking. And I mean, that's the thing, is it teaches the brain. Now, there's a lot of ladies here, and I like to share it usually. I had a lady come to a fire walk and says, Cobus, why should I walk on fire? I said, find a reason that is important for you to do it, because it's the metaphor. And then she clicked and she said, she and her husband have tried for 5 years that she can't get pregnant. They've been on all the medication and everything. And I said, well, if you can tell your mind, if it can do this, you can get pregnant, then it's possible, right? You sort of program that. That's why we NLP, neuro-linguistic. And a few weeks, she walks that fire that night. A few weeks later, Dion, I get this phone call, and I'm sitting and it's like, ching, 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 ching. It's like, is this Cobus? I'm like, yes. Guess what? I'm pregnant. And I'm like, hope, is it me? About it.
That was my first response.
Like,
what happened at that firewalk? Oh my goodness.
And I was like, oh, I'm safe. And she says, no, seeing her husband, she's pregnant. That was like 2-3 weeks later. And mind shift, was it, I believe it was. And since then, usually when I share stories like that, I have now, I think, about 5 or 6 success stories of women. It's not my children, so the buyer's children, that have reached out to me to say that they got pregnant and they have babies. So that's amazing. So it sort of impacts the mind to believe that. So if you can do that, you can do anything, is what we have is a saying that we have. And also walking through fire teaches you the creed that I call whatever it takes, because then you don't have excuses. Because the thing is, before you walk also, Dion, think about it. You all have all of these excuses. I don't have a reason. No, man, this is not this. And so you have all of these excuses. I'm hemophiliac. or you can blame, who's this crazy Cobus to do this, etc., etc., and you will never take action. Where with whatever it takes, if you're willing to walk through that, then with whatever it takes, you are taking charge and responsibility of your life.
I must I must say this, and I know this is going to sound strange to a lot of people. I do believe that everybody's got, I call it the hidden secret. Every single person on this planet has got something that bothers them, that they're unhappy with, that they don't like about themselves, that they would love to change. But I call it the secret because they don't tell others. They don't share it publicly. Is there anybody in the group that doesn't have that? You don't have a personal fear. You don't have some kind of a limiting belief. You don't have some point of imposter syndrome on certain platforms. Everybody's got something where there's a little bit of doubt inside of themselves. And that absolutely includes myself, and I think Cobus as well, and everybody that we know. And I remember very clearly the night that we did your walk, Cobus, there was something that I had in my mind that was absolutely limiting belief. And what was cool is when you do the firewalk and you look back at it, and you use those words actually, the fact that I've done that means nothing else is not possible. Everything is possible. If I can do that, I can do this. And the reason I like it is because that's the way the brain functions. It's a belief. And doing that firewalk takes your belief system about your own capability, your own courage, to an absolute ununderstandable next level. And that's the cool thing. So someone put in the text, when's the next walk? Have you got one planned, Cobus? When's the next walk? I don't know.
Yeah, so there is my plan. I think we can look at it. I'm doing an event on the 14th of August. There will be a firewalk, and then I'm doing a firewalk retreat, so where I teach people how to become firewalk instructors. So that is happening at the end of the month. So I take people, and the nice thing about to qualify as a firewalk instructor, on the last night we walk 108 times over the fire. That's in total of 250 meters, just to give you an idea. That's like almost three rugby fields in length, right?
So that's a serious braai.
It's a serious, definitely. And I think that's the thing, is it's walking. And Andrea is here.
I was just going to say, Andrea mentioned something. Sounds like she did it. If there's anybody else here, Andrea, do you want to say a quick hello and maybe give us your 2-sentence experience?
I'll share like my face for a hot second. Hi guys.
You most welcome. Hi.
I don't know. What do you need me to say? Like I said, it changes you on a different level. It's not just like a mental blockage that you get through. It's deep stuff, man. It's deep.
It's deep
It's
stuff.
like I think the closest thing to like source essence, the closest thing to God, like that change that you experience. And Cobus is so great at it as well. Like whoever's on the call, if you ever get the opportunity, just do it. Don't even question it or think twice. Say it, yeah.
I absolutely agree. Diana's also on here. She's also done it a few times. So thanks, Andrea. Where's Diana? I teased you earlier about your hair. You might as well show your face again. Where you?
Yeah, no, you know what, my connection is not so good, so it's breaking up the sound when I put my camera on.
Okay, leave the camera off. You did the walk as well. In fact, you were there that night that I did it. So what's been your experience about it so far?
Well, I've done 33 walks already. So I enjoy it. I am absolutely addicted because it just keeps me going. It energizes me. And it's absolutely so powerful to know that you are able to do this. It's like mind-blowing. So, yeah, if you can do that, you can do anything, and we prove it.
So 33 walks?
Yes, only 33.
Does that make you medium or well done?
Perfect.
All right. So is there anybody on the group? Let's just ask that question very quickly. I can't see everybody. in the text, if you are interested in a walk, just put a yes or something or a Y in the chat. I just want to. I'm really just curious. I'm in. Okay, there's a couple of yes, 2 yeses. Okay, there's 3. Yeah. Okay. There's a few people coming through. All right. Because guys, okay. Someone asked, do you do it in George? I think you do it all over the country. So do you have, and I actually honestly don't even know this, do you have a platform, a link where you sort of put your event schedules when you're doing firewalks, where people can go in and look at do you have a schedule for like the next year or something where these guys can go in and have a look and book, or how far ahead do you book them?
Yeah, I think so. Just give an idea. So my website is being updated. It soon will be up there as well. I think the retreat, the firewalk instructor training, where I certify people, that happens once a year, and I'm grateful. I have people coming now from Namibia, from UK, from Spain, and a few South Africans to join. And I think that happens once a year. The public firewalks I aim to do every 3 months. So I would. Depends on my schedule. I would feel like I want a firewalk, and people are nagging me. So when is your next firewalk? And then I will set the date and say, okay, in 2 weeks' time, let's do a fire. That's an opening spot. So the challenge for me is always finding that open spot to do it, because I don't make money out of the public firewalk. It's just covering costs. So it takes a lot of time and effort. So I don't also do it every month because I want people to come back. So I want you to like Diana. She might have been there 3 months ago. Guess what? I know she's going to be at the next one because he's going to bring someone with. And I think that's the secret, is people to come back and come and share it with others. So at the moment, I'm more focused on other things. But if people want to nag me, they nag me. And if I have like 10 people nagging me at the same time, I'm like, okay.
Well, I think there's more than 10 on this group. So let me ask this question. If there's people want to nag you, they want to do a walk, how are we going to get them to connect with you? Are you going to, can I share or highlight you on the WhatsApp group and they can just WhatsApp you directly, or is that going to harass you too much? I don't know.
No, they're welcome to, or my email address is underneath my name. So on the screen, so they can just email me as well. And then we can do that. And then I think the secret is also, Dion, is to do one. Maybe we should do one together, do a workshop combined with a firewalk. That can also be great. Where we can really, I think
you put me on the spot, because we spoke about that earlier today. We want to do a live event together. What do you guys think? We should do a live event together. I think so. A little bit of, you can do the values intervention. I'll do or you do the beliefs. I'll do the values. We can make a decision there.
Sounds
There's
like
another
power.
firewalker that just came past me. But she's busy. Anyway, all right. So. Can I, in the meantime, share your...
Yes, you're welcome to share. And I mean, for people, it's more than just a firewalk. It's a journey. It's an experience. And I see Stein is on here as well, and he's also been trained to be an instructor. And I mean, it's the transformation. It's uplifting consciousness. It's awakening consciousness in people. People that is longing for that change. That I like to say, igniting the fire inside of you. And that is powerful.
Cool. Let's go to another topic. What's the craziest thing you've done?
The craziest thing I've done, if I think about topping it, so it was the craziest thing I did that impacted other people. So I was working with a team called the Southern Kings one day, and I was speaking about pain and the power of pain and what your focus is on. And I take a needle this long. And while I'm talking, I take a needle and I put it in my hand. And as I would talk, I push the needle right through my hand. Okay, that's the craziest thing.
Why?
To show them that when you push through this part of the body, that skin is hard. So the needle doesn't come through very nicely. So you have to press it hard, right? And so... but I did it by talking to them, so I hardly felt anything, and that was the biggest shock factor. And then they went on to beat the team that day. So that's
someone just posted he's a Viking. Yeah, I think that DNA test might have been a little bit accurate there. Yeah, that's kind of possible. Has anybody else sort of sat in the conversation and decided, let me take a long needle and just push it through my hand? Let's see if this hurts or not. I don't know. I don't know. No. I'm not sure that's. I'm not there yet. I need a couple of firewalks to get there. I don't know. All right, that's the craziest thing you've done. I think that was for yourself. I don't think that was for the audience.
The craziest thing I've done is I went to climb Kilimanjaro with my crutches. So taking my crutches with me, climbing the highest mountain of Africa. I still been on a journey this last year to discover how I did it. I probably still not had the answer how I did it. I think it was an amazing journey. It was life-changing. It was bigger than a firewalk, climbing that mountain, being in pain the whole way, in my crutches, my knees, my
I don't
ankles.
think these guys, the penny's dropping completely what exactly what you're saying. Guys, and I'm interrupting you, Cobus. My humblest apologies. He's a hemophiliac. That means he's bleeding. He's got no soft bone left in his body. His joints don't function. Look at, you can see the bone sticking out there. I've seen him in real life. There we go. You can see the swelling and everything else. His knees look like that. His hips are like that. His ankles are worse. I mean, your elbow actually looks healthy. Your ankles are terrible. Sorry to say it. They're very swollen. They look. You can see the guy's in pain. I have not climbed. Is there anybody else here that's climbed Kilimanjaro? I haven't. And here's a guy that did it on crutches. That's actually the reason I decided to talk to you the first time, because I read that, and it to me just I heard courage, a mix of courage and stupidity. And then I met you and we started talking, and I realized the reason behind you doing it, and I absolutely still find it inspiring. What did you learn from it though?
From the climb of Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that I learned is that the moment we think we want to give up in life, that we have so much more in us to keep pushing forward. There was a point where I was sitting and watching this highest sunrise in Africa, and I was about to give up. And my friend reminded me, just Cobus, why did you come to climb this mountain? And I pushed through. And this last year, well, a little bit more than a year ago, but let's say this last year, I've been in a very dark place and in a not a good space. And that's what the Kilimanjaro did for me. It reminded me just to keep pushing forward. So one of the things on the mountain, it's pole, that it means one step, just giving your next step. All that we sometimes have to focus on is giving our next step slow, don't rush it. And that's just that reminder when I was starting to write my book this last year, was the journey of just one step at a time. And I think that's sometimes the secret in life. This is why McDonald's might be fast, but it's not good for you. Where if you go to a nice restaurant that can take up to 40 minutes to cook a meal for you, that tastes 10 times better, and it's better for you as well.
Do you ever have fear or have a bit of imposter syndrome in life?
Fear, I think my fear just changes. So as I conquer fears, the boundary gets pushed further for more fears to come. And I mean, and that's nice to know that there's always going to be fear. Fear is not bad for you. Fear is sometimes good for you, because it pushes you to grow. It pushes you to move forward. So fear is not bad. So never think fear is bad for you. If you see the positive side there, it's there to push you. So the other side of the beliefs and limiting beliefs, I think, is when we get thrown challenges, choosing the choices we make. So I made a wrong choice that became a right choice. So, for example, let's say, decided to date someone and it didn't work out, and the impact that it had, or my divorce that I went through. It's choices we had to make, and it makes you question yourself: did I make the right choices? Did I allow the right things in my life? But the moment if you can just stand back and look at the positive learnings that you can gain from that, you become a better person and you get healing from that, instead of assuming everyone is the same and everyone is negative and bad, etc. Those nasty words. So I mean but those limiting beliefs is there, and it's a constant breakthrough. For me, I can't write. My English is very delicious, and I know I've spoken it as I've been twice. I can't write a book. I do SMS or WhatsApp language, where it's short and without the punctuation. And yet it took me a year to put it all together, and then in a day write a book. And my book is here. It took 12 months. So, it showed me that, wow, I can do that the moment I'm focused. I think that's a belief that I had to overcome. And it took 6 years, because this book was supposed to come out after Kilimanjaro in 2018. It's only arrived now.
Wow. Have you ever had imposter syndrome? Do you still have it?
When I am with someone like Dion on stage,
Nah,
when I'm,
come on.
I think I sometimes question. So it's like when I was at an event with a guy by the name of Robin Banks, and then I measure myself to that. I think imposter syndrome sometimes comes where you measure yourself to others instead of to yourself, and I have to constantly
I do the
remind.
same when he's in the room. Make no mistake.
So, and he said something, and we had a conversation, and I mean the thing is focus on you. So now focus on yourself where you want to be 10 years from now and chase that person. Then the imposter syndrome becomes like, damn, I'm not me in 10 years from now. What do I need to do? So you actually now using that to empower yourself instead of having it disarming you. And I mean, or disable you, if that's the word.
So what's so I'm hearing that 10 years from now. So what's your hairstyle gonna look like 10 years from now? Same style, just longer?
I'm thinking of growing it longer. I want to grow a longer beard. I met another guy with the most beautiful beard, and I'm like, damn, I want to look like that. I think this is it's a decade. It's a journey. You know, my Superman journey was from my 30 to my 40s. So my 40 to my 50, I was going to be this journey. Is it going to change? I don't know. Am I going to evolve? Definitely, I'm going to evolve, and I'm going to become it. And if my brand evolves with it, amazing. You know, we don't know what is in 10 years in store in the world. However, what we need to focus on is what can we do now, and can we live that out now? And I mean, that's one thing that's important.
I think you hit the nail on the head with a brand, by the way. It suits you so well at I don't know, physically, emotionally, intelligently, values wise, everything. I think it's such a natural fit.
I actually met someone today. So the first time they saw my stuff online, he's like, "Oh, who's this poople of a guy? You know, who's this crazy guy?" And when he met today to me, he apologized. He said, because when I saw you at the event, Diana was also at that event, Robin Banks, my whole think about you changed. And I think I found my soul brother. And I'm like, wow, what a big word to say with someone. And he said, I changed his life. And I think that's the nice thing. And he says he actually now understands the brand and he loves the brand.
Yeah.
And I think it's like in anything, you know, there's no moment you start getting to know someone or the brand and the persona behind it, what it stands for, people fall in love with it. And another friend of mine, he's a business boss. He doesn't love my brands. He was fighting me on my brand. And so I'm doing my book launch in Cape Town, and her husband comes up and he says to me, he always told his wife, right, his business partner of mine, that he doesn't get the Superman. He says it doesn't connect with him. And he just wanted to comment me now. He says he loves my brand. He thinks it's the best choice and move I've ever made. So, you know, it's like, you're going to find people in your circle that is not going to fall in love with your brand.
Of course.
But we need to realize they're not our potential customers.
That's the part that I actually love, because I've been struggling. I don't think I've got a personal brand, to be honest. I'm not as identifiable as yours. I've got, you know, I'm just not there. And I've considered building a personal brand for me, but I haven't found. I mean, Viking's obviously not going to fit for me. I've got no idea what my personal brand should be. I should do some homework. Maybe you've got one. I don't know.
You're the mind reader. You're Professor X.
I don't know.
Maybe people can give some guidance in the group what they think.
I had a student that eventually started working for me years ago, and his brand was the Mind Walker, and I loved that. The mind walker. It's such a cool word, but so I can't go and steal his. But yeah, we'll see. All right. I've got one more thing that I do want to ask you, and that is, I know you've showed us a book.
Oh, this one.
Walking Through Fire. Okay, but there's something that I see on the book that's fake, that I think you should actually add into real life, and that might just be a tattoo, like a scar coming down.
Tattoos are for life, right? When I do that, it's gonna be for life.
So, aren't you committed to the brand?
I am. Look, I've gotten tattoos, eh? So I've gotten a Viking
I've also
tattoo.
got tattoos. I've got massive tattoos on my body. All right. So someone says, Simba, you in Zimbabwe, you want to buy the book? I don't know. So here's the thing. The book cannot tell your full story, but the book can tell more than your story.
Yes.
If you understand what I'm saying, because that's usually the idea behind writing a book, right? It cannot tell your full story, but your book can tell more than the story you can tell in a conversation. If what's in the book that people don't know about you?
It's so nice to see Diana is also on the call, and I think can I ask Diana to she's almost done reading, but if you can come on, I think you can give her feedback because she knows me and she knows what I wrote in the book. And so before I give my opinion, Diana, if you are there to share, I think what was your experience, because you know me personally, and then I can share what other people have said.
Just before you answer, just so everybody knows, Diana is actually one of our students as well, and it's a small world. She knows my wife quite well for many, many years. So yeah, it's kind of a small world sometimes. So Diana?
I've met Cobus in the beginning of 2020 and we instantly connected, and I've gotten to know him over the last couple of years through lockdown. We were in communication and everything, but Cobus never told me his whole story, and I have learned so much more about Cobus. And in the beginning of the book, he says it could be an emotional book to read. Yes, Cobus, I did pull out the tissues. The tears did flow. It's such a powerful book. So if you've got the opportunity to read the book, please do that. It's an amazing story of courage and the willpower. And then, if I may say that, Cobus, there were times that Cobus was talking about giving up. He did say that just now as well. And many of us can resonate with that as well. And it just shows me Cobus is just a human being like I am. And I resonate with so much of what he's sharing in the book. And it's very touching. It's meeting somebody on a different level. So Cobus, thank you for the book. I love it. Awesome. And I'm going to have that coffee with you after I've finished reading it, okay?
Yeah. And Mary, I see Mary's on the call. Yours are on its way. You must let me know when you receive it, by the way. I must send you the tracking number, but it's all the way onto its way to Ireland. Oh, and Eugene is also here. So I need to, Dion, I want to jump in, and one of my biggest friends, Eugene, is here. And he's one of the main sponsors that helped me to make this book a reality. He was not just a friend. He became a confidant. He became. He even came to the retreat, the firewalk training. Luckily he's still young, so he flew all the way during COVID to South Africa to come and do a firewalk instructor training, and he's now traveling the world. And when I told him I'm going to write my book, he was like, okay, how much do you need? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, and he's one of the ones that wrote the foreword of the book as well. And so I think, before I give Eugene a chance to share something, and I think one thing that stood out for me is that the book has been bought by a few people. And so there's one person, I met her on the plane, and she heard I do a book, and she's a journalist, and she bought my book. And she sent me a message the other day talking about how the power of the book is. And she says here, if I can get it, her name is Nomfundo. She works with the ANC, and she's big up in there. And she's like, my friend, walking through the fire is an addictive book. Running late for work this morning because I just can't stop. Have a great week ahead. Just seeing messages like that with people that don't know me. I mean, that's the other thing. There's another one the mom bought for her son, and now she's read the book and she says, I can't wait to give it to her sons. This other lady, Santal, says it is raw, authentically written, tugs at your heartstrings and galvanize you into action. And then one of the people that made it reality is Eugene. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, all here. And sorry for the lateness. I'm actually going out for a bite to eat. And I just saw this coming, the coming up on my phone and said, Cobus, sure, maybe I'll get at least a few minutes in and hear what's going on. So I don't know how long are you going on? How long will it be?
We are actually literally 4 minutes from having to finish up. So
we see. Oh gosh,
so you came in right at the end.
Better shut up.
But we'll just edit out the noise in between, and then we're gonna make the recording available. Cobus can get his hands on it, so we can send you a copy, so you can watch it, Eugene.
So my friend Eugene, if you talk about it, and your copies are on its way to say thank you as well. Just in our experience together, you came to the retreat, your life changed. How has the fire and my story and Us Connection changed your life?
It was all meant to happen. Now I'm a little Burmy in the head at the best of times. I'm mad, but I'm actually eccentric because I got money, you know.
Nothing wrong with that.
I see Mary Shepherd, the lovely Mary Shepherd is online there as well. Love to see her. Anyway, listen. What it was meant to happen. During the lockdowns situation, it really done my head in. And my story was I started listening to Mind Power people. I found Robin Banks incredibly entertaining, and listened to him quite a lot during 2020, and signed up for some of his programs, quite a few, like one after the other. And lo and behold, came across you in late about August 21, and we're chatting away, and you said, "Are you coming down?" So I just said, "Well, flip. I might as well be mad down in South Africa, be mad in Ireland," and off I went, thinking that I would sort of after a by the end of the week maybe I tip my toe into the fire. But instead of first night, so just very liberating, no looking back, and having been brought up as a Roman Catholic, fear of fire is something you have rammed down your neck. So this liberating sensation, fantastic, that happened to me in 2021. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've been to 6 fire walks since, including your birthday, by the way, because a year later in 2022 I went off down for your 40th birthday.
Just everyone know, he flew specially from Ireland just for 2 days, just to celebrate my birthday, and then flew back again. How amazing!
Yeah, but it was a special. It was a 40th as well. So but that's cool.
Yeah.
Eugene, you did. I don't know if you remember we actually did meet at his birthday.
Yes, we did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We met at the Cobus's birthday party.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So last question, Eugene. When I told you I'm going to write the book, you said you're going to help me to make the book a reality. What made you make that decision? Because it's a big investment in a friend and making things possible. What was your calling to do that?
Instinct. We've got this gut instinct, and we've got it for a reason. And there's a natural flow to a whole lot of things, and there's nothing that's happened between you and I over the past 2 years that wasn't bloody well great. Like, we went to Sweden together, we went to Prague. We'll be going to if we got the
Hold on, is there competition for the man love here? He's my boyfriend. What are you doing here now? What's happening?
Well, actually, one of the things that we share with Cobus is that we love women. We're masochists. We're both of us. We're masochists.
Okay. All right. Let's limit that conversation to another evening. I need to get to a point. I've one commitment on this group, and that is it's 1 hour from 7 till 8, and we're 1 minute over. So, Eugene, forgive me. I'm not trying to be rude. Cobus, forgive me.
No.
It's really a matter of we need to land the plane, and that's just yeah, the way we do it. So from my side, I hope you guys, I don't know if you guys pulled something out of this conversation. I am going to start inviting a couple of people that I believe are phenomenal people and phenomenal coaches onto this platform. I want to hear their stories. I hope you guys learn something from it, you get value of it. And Cobus, you are my friend. I do love you a lot, and I really, really, yeah, Amanda, thank you, gentlemen. Well, he is a gentleman. Trust me on that. You're an incredible guy, and I hope your books goes mad like wildfire. May it just sell like wildfire. If anybody wants the book, I think you did share a link. We'll share it on the WhatsApp group.
We'll share it. Yeah, I will share it with you. There's if you want a signed copy, then you order with the one link, and if you don't, and you want a Kindle or so, you can order directly on Amazon. It is on Amazon as well. So yeah, looking forward to that.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you on here. To everybody else, thank you guys. You've been the best. Thank you for supporting this group and being here. I hope it inspired some of you. Is there anybody? I'm going to take the spotlights off here. Just removing the spotlight from myself and Cobus. Sorry, Cobus, not to be rude. Is there anybody? Can you guys give us a show of hands? Did you enjoy? Yeah? Oh, there's lots of love coming through there. Who's going to do the firewalk? Cobus, are we going to book a weekend where we do a firewalk on a Saturday night or on a Friday night? We can do it there in Centurion, and
Yes.
we get this whole group together. Can you do 100 people? Because if we put it in our group and we show this video, we're going to have 100+ people. How many people can you handle at a group like that? I don't know.
Well, look, I've been part of a 6,500 people firewalk, and the biggest one I've done in South Africa is 500. So
Okay.
definitely the venue in Centurion Golf Estate can take 150, so we can make it happen.
So we can make it happen. We got to make it happen. What do you guys say? Who's going to join? We're going to make it happen. I'll be the first one out there. Don't worry. I won't do anything that or ask you guys to do something, but I can tell you now, it's going to shift your brains. And we'll do a whole day event, possibly. We can look at it, do a whole day event, do a firewalk at the evening, and then we all share a meal together and just bond, get to know each other, share the love, and connect, because that's what life's about. For me, I want to land this plane, guys. Be blessed. We're going to share some links on the WhatsApp group if you're interested in doing the firewalk, if you're interested in buying his book. It's going to all be there. Thank you for being here. Be blessed, everybody, and we'll see you guys soon. Ciao, ciao. Oh, for those that don't know, Saturday we're starting a new 9-day NLP life coaching course. You guys do know you've done the course before. You're allowed to join for free if you want to. Send me a WhatsApp if you want to join, and I'll add you to the group and you can redo it. Be blessed. Be amazing. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Thanks, Steven. Bye.
Just. Thanks, Cobus.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you.